spending all I can get. Live the lifestyle of a wise guy, pretty women and zips. Yeah, I'm a hot boy.
You can bet your ass I'm a hot boy. Yep, I'm a hot boy.
Life is a hot bar. Pretty women, fast cars, toting toasters. Better watch who you get close to, cause a nigga could be after your throne. People always testing the strong. Best believe one step in his own. I'm a wise guy. Keeping it quiet with bullshit that rise. Everything kept on the hush. Some shit ain't never discussed. Loose lips can get you locked up, carried away.
Only truths that pay dues know where you stay.
I didn't see the poles running where people lay. Sitting on about a key. I can't let that shit happen to me. Never stash out when you crash out. Gotta be quick on your feet.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother,
Son Soul Lex.
And we got our YouTube cousin in the house, the Book of Genesis.
Yes, indeed.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, hope everybody's having a good damn day. It's a little weather's changing. A lot of things are changing as of the last couple of days, but we won't get into all of that. How's everybody doing?
I'm good.
Genesis over there is getting her due done.
Oh, okay. Well, once again, we want to just welcome everybody to the King and I Life podcast. Of course, you guys can reach us on all of the major podcast platforms. You can reach us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We out here. So again, if you want to come on the show or if you want to suggest a topic, please feel free. You can also reach us at that KingAndEye369@gmail.com. Again, that's KingAndEye@gmail.com.
Yes. So, Son Solex, in his infinite trouble starting nature, came up with a topic because we didn't know what we was going to talk about. We really did not know. And we came up, going to talk about loving someone through their baggage. And I'll let Son Solex bring it in.
Uh-oh.
All right. So,
Right.
Of course, I was just skimming through, social media, and a particular topic stood out to me, which was, can you actually love someone past their hurt and pain in their previous relationship or their childhood traumas? So that's what brought this all about. And I'm sure all of us have our own war stories to share.
Lord have mercy.
With that being said, let's get into it.
Yeah. Off the rip, before we get into the conversation, I'm just gonna say it depends on that person's level of hurt, pain, trauma, or whatever. That you should or should not invest your time and peace of mind in helping them through their past pain and trauma. I mean.
I would agree with that. I would also add that in a lot of situations, you really don't know what someone's gone through until you actually spent that time and dedicated that time to finding out who they really are. And even then, a lot of times it doesn't really show until you're further along in that investment, as they say.
Yeah, that's true. Cousin Genesis?
I have mixed emotions about this one. I mean, everybody brings some level of baggage to the table when they enter a relationship. However, I don't think that it's your responsibility to fix anybody per se. See a psychiatrist, a therapist, a psychologist, or something. You have to be actively working on yourself.
Right.
You can't expect, someone to fix everything that they didn't break.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, the crazy part is, you deal with some people and they, in their minds, they feel like, and they will actually express that it's your job to help them unpack their luggage and their baggage and help them heal. And it's like, that's not what I'm here for. That's not in my job description. Like, nah, like if this happened while we were together, then yeah, I'm kind of almost obligated to deal with that. But if that was before me, nah,
Mhm.
it's not my mm-mm. It's not my kink.
So with that
It's
being said,
not,
oh,
but then, you're going to healing is an ongoing process.
Hmm.
So even if they are in, say, therapy or something and working through it, you know, that's a process. So it depends on where you meet them in the process. If they are just starting therapy, then you might want to hold back on a relationship. If they're, somewhere in the middle or towards the end, then, there will be some things that undoubtedly you'll have to deal with.
so
I
with
know, right?
That
that being said, how do you approach a new relationship?
with an open mind.
Open mind, transparency, be honest. And hopefully that person um is self-aware to some degree so that they know, their broken areas.
And hopefully they're not selfish in the aspect of they know they're broken, but because they are so enamored by you or caught up in you that they don't try to bury it just so they can keep you around and lock you in. And by the time they get comfortable or you get comfortable with them, then it starts to show.
Right. Right. Be transparent, let them give them an opportunity to make an informed decision whether or not they want to enter or pursue a relationship with you.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of times people don't, they're not upfront and honest about their past traumas. I think they, they put their representative out there, as they say, and
Everybody
they,
does to a degree.
yeah. But further along, that's when some people will gradually start to show you that side of them that has been, traumatized from their previous relationships.
And
Yeah.
to some degree, though, if there are, for lack of a better term, red flags or
Mhm.
things that are apparent, then, you can ask questions to kind of fish out what may be happening with that person related to that situation. And hopefully they're honest enough to, tell the truth or, answer questions if you're probing or something, trying to get to the root of whatever is happening.
Right.
Hopefully they are considerate enough to follow that path of common sense, but in their minds the common sense is, if I tell, a lot of people I've seen do this, they think that if they tell them what's going on with them, that's going to cause them to instantly run away. There's a percentage of situations where that happens, but I mean, if you are able to be transparent in a manner to explain who you are and what you are in yourself, then I think a person will be more willing to attempt to build a little something. It may not turn into a full-fledged relationship, but I think the biggest turnoff is the fact that you are, I'm not going to use the term lying, you're insulting one's intelligence, because I think everybody lies to a degree.
Sure. So how long does it take to figure out your partner's red flags, though?
Depends on how apparent they are. You may see things that they don't see, or, if they're in denial, then they may be wearing it like a cheap suit,
Hmm.
and then saying that it doesn't exist when it is, apparent that it's present.
Yeah.
one thing that you can sometimes do to catch some of them red flags early is you notice a behavior that's kind of unwarranted or just out of line at a specific point, and you say something to them. If they automatically get defensive or get an attitude or something like that, you might be like, yo, I'm noticing this, that, and the other. And if it causes like an argument or something like that, then that's definitely an instant red flag.
Okay. So with that being said, do you think people nowadays are more prone to run away when they start seeing those red flags, as where before people were a little more tolerant of the red flags?
Hmm.
I would agree with that to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree.
People aren't kind of uh digging in with their heels. It's kind of like, oh, I'm not dealing with that. I'm gonna leave. Um, because I think once you pass a certain age,
Hmm.
Hmm.
your patience, is a little thinner than maybe when you're younger. Because when you get to these advanced ages, you're kind of like, I'm not dealing with that. Let somebody else deal with that. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I like the way
Yeah.
you put that, advanced ages.
Yeah. Advanced
Listen,
mentally, physically, emotionally, and numerically.
yes,
Definitely, definitely.
And I can agree with that because over the last, I mean, like the last relationship I've been in was in 2017. And ever since then, my tolerance has been very, very short. I will check the hell out and ghost a joker in a minute and won't think two goddamn shits about it because it's like, you know what? I can't. I'm not. No, I will not. Mm-mm.
right.
Mm-mm.
Nobody has time for that. It's like, shoot, adulting is hard enough.
Yeah,
I don't have time to adult and unpack all of your mess that you saying that you don't have. Mm-mm.
right. And the crazy thing about it is some of them like you, I try not to argue with people. I end up getting into some semi-casual debates, a little sternly, and they will point the finger at a lot of the things that they think that you're doing, and it's like, well, if you know X, Y, and Z about yourself, or if I've told you several times, hey, this is what it is, and now you over here having a meltdown, it's like that's not my problem. Like, get it together.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the advanced ages here, we just don't have time like that. I feel when you again reach that certain age, it's like when you're younger, you had more time to kind of unpack things and sort them out a little bit and see, yeah, I can fix this, and no, I can't fix that. But now at this particular point in time and space in my life, if I was in a relationship like that, no, I just don't have time. It
Right,
takes too
right,
long to try to figure out what it is that's broken, what can be repaired, and what just totally needs to be thrown out. It's just don't have that kind of time anymore.
Look here. Yeah, that's I think that's why I have been single since 2017 because I don't have a tool bag anymore around my waist and I'm not gonna put one on.
I
Not
mean, but we
playing.
shouldn't have to. At this age,
Right.
it's kind of like, you're not a kid anymore. You know what's broken. Either you want to do the work on your own to fix it so that you can be an asset or looked at as an asset to somebody and bring something to the table more than your baggage. And
Right.
if you're confident, well, now let me go back. You should be wanting to be your best self.
Hmm.
You can't bring your best self to the table and offer it to someone for the long term if you're not willing to do the work and fix the things in you that need work or improvement.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, everything that's happened to you, even from being a child into your early adults, into your later adult stages, pretty much you were the only witness to all those things that happened to you.
Mhm.
So I kind of feel like not all of it can be fixed by you, but most of it can be fixed by you. In between you and getting the proper uh, guidance or help that you need, whether that be a psychiatrist or a psychologist or whatever the case may be. There may even be a yoga teacher. I don't know, but
That joker's
whatever
been a
it
yoga
takes
teacher.
to help you to get past those issues and to continue to develop yourself, in a positive way. I think that's where it's at right there.
Right.
I agree and disagree with you. Um, I agree with you in the sense that some people are unable to find their ways out of their shit. Um, on the other hand, in these advanced ages that we are at, and I'm looking at from, I want to say, mid to late 30s
Mm.
on,
Mhm.
you need, like, if you don't know yourself, you have serious problems. If you refuse to make incremental changes in your life every day, every week, every month, every quarter, I don't know. Like, some things are so easy, and all it takes is a little bit of effort, a little bit of care for yourself, a little bit of consideration for the people that you involve yourself with to make yourself better. Yes, we all have our moments we just want to check out because adulting is a task. But I mean, if you don't know yourself at these ages, and you still carrying baggage from 5, 10, 15 years ago, that's crazy. Like, crazy.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, you shouldn't be in your 40s still, dealing with something from your childhood. Like, eh, I would question, like, okay, do you just want, the sob story to tell? Because, you've had 30 plus years, to
Yeah,
kind of work that thing out and it's still an issue. Like, nah, you haven't gotten help because you don't want it.
right.
I would agree with that.
Or you don't want to see things in a better light because you don't want to. Because, like,
Right.
it's mind blowing to me how there are some men out here and some women out here still talking about all men this and all women that, and it's
Mhm.
like, where's this coming from at this age? Like, what is your contribution to what all men and all women are doing in this world? Because if you if you were scorned in a relationship 5 years ago, why is that still one of the prominent things in your conversation when you're talking to a new person pursuing a relationship? That is mind blowing to me.
I mean, when I hear people speak in general like that, meaning all men this or all women that, I'm like, you're delusional.
But
Right.
Really, I look.
they're speaking in general, but they're being specific about what happened to them. But the part of the problem is they don't want to take accountability and ownership to what they contributed to it.
Right.
Right.
So it's kind of like, what is the common denominator in all of those past relationships? And that is you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, is there a limit to how much understanding and compassion you can have with your mate who
Hell yeah.
has traumas?
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I am one who does not believe in unconditional love. Um, because
Love is very much conditional.
Well,
It is
to throw it out.
politically incorrect to say that, but if love were unconditional, people would not get divorced.
right. Yeah. I mean, people use that unconditional love theory as a serious talking point when things go crazy, and it's like, I don't even understand what unconditional love. I used to buy into that when I was in my 20s,
Right.
and once I started getting in my 30s, I was like, this, what? Are you crazy? I don't believe in soulmates, unconditional. Get out of here with that. I don't believe that, because crazy or dysfunction can eat away at your love for a person. Um,
Right.
but hell, people, yeah, I no. There are limits to understanding, and there are some things that are just like deal breakers, and it's unfortunate when you're in a relationship and several years go by and the crazy starts coming out, and that person is talking about, oh, unconditional love and this, that, and the other, you should be able to handle this, and blah. It's like, no, why
No.
do I have to handle that? That's no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I definitely understand that and can recognize that. I think when we're in certain relationships, um, we allow ourselves to fall in love with a person so deeply that we feel like, um, I can love you past all
Mm,
your hurt and pain. I can love you to the limit that I flood you with love, and that will get you through your past hurt and trauma. And that's something I used to believe back when I was a whole lot more younger. But nowadays, I don't think that's true. I
mm-mm.
really feel like it's something that each individual has to deal with on their own to a certain extent.
Right.
Meaning, their mate has to be supportive of them going to seek the proper help that they need. Meaning, going to the psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever it is. Um, just being supportive is all you can do sometimes, and then even then, it's not enough, unfortunately, because even if
Right.
you stick in there with somebody and you they ride or die, if they still continue, even though they're seeking out help and trying to get help, if they're not working through the situation, meaning taking the advice of whoever it is that they're seeing professionally,
Mm-hmm.
then you're kind of wasting your time, I feel. And again, I'm no professional, but that's just my point of view.
I mean, you don't have to be a professional. I mean, some of this is, I hate to say it, but it's just common sense in a lot of
Mhm.
situations, and people just seem to refuse to tune into their common sense meter. Like, yeah, like they feel that they're okay, and I after my last marriage, I just refuse to understand why people carry baggage and why people feel like someone should unpack their baggage. I don't know. If your bags are that heavy, they that packed, you need to go sit down somewhere. Either leave them bags somewhere in a corner, or drop them in the ocean and go buy some new bags, or just sit down. Like, leave people alone until you
Right.
like go get you a few cats, dogs, or whatever, and just be single.
Really though, I mean, and that's asking a lot. Like you're asking someone to do the work that you yourself haven't even been able to do.
Right,
Like I'm supposed to be a magician. I'm supposed to fix what you haven't been able to fix in however many years.
right.
Nah, it's a no for me.
Yeah, it's a strong no for me. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I don't get it. How can you expect your current mate to fix something they did not break? They had
Right.
absolutely nothing to do with, probably didn't even know you at the time, but you expect for them to come in and, yeah, I got some duct tape in the back and I got some super glue and I got a couple of screws and wrenches I can throw in there and make it work for
mm,
you. No,
No.
it just doesn't happen like that, in my opinion.
yeah. The funny thing about this is, I got a friend that we used to talk a while back, several years ago, and we just remain, cordial, talk to each other here and there.
Mhm.
And I had hit her up. I've been hitting her up a couple of times over the past couple of weeks, and I ain't hear nothing. So I'm thinking, like, damn, did she die? Like, damn, like the hell. I ain't never hit her up, or she hit me up, and we never responded to each other. So she hit me up today on Marco Polo,
Mhm.
and she was like, because I asked, I sent her Marco Polo. I was like, well, damn, did you get married? Like, you good? So she finally hit me back and she was like, no, I'm not married yet, but I got engaged and blah blah blah, and I blocked all my male friends. And I'm like, what? I'm saying to myself, who does that? Like, what kind of crazy situation are you in to where you need to block all your male friends? And I just was looking at her body language in her Marco Polo videos after she was
Mhm.
saying that, and I was like, that don't seem happy. Like something is going on there. It's like, ugh.
I
There
get that.
are
But
there are the people who believe that if you were intimate with someone or there was some sort of romantic interest, then it's disrespectful to have, that person, to still be friends with that person,
Mhm.
when you're in a new relationship. Not everybody can handle that.
Yeah.
I
what
get
you, what you about to say?
I get what you're saying, Joseph. I promise you I do. I always thought that was a bunch of the biggest bullshit ever though.
I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm just saying there are those people. Like
There are.
I know that
Yeah, you're right.
I've had gentlemen who, thought that I shouldn't have contact with exes, or, and I wasn't one that had, where my breakups were nasty, and, I wasn't still friends with,
Mhm.
somebody that I had previously been in a relationship. But,
Right.
there were the suitors who couldn't handle the fact that I was still friendly, with people who I had past relationships with.
Yeah, my last wife, she couldn't stand that I get along with my son's mothers, the both of them. Like
Mhm.
we just had to be doing something because we got along because we got a child together.
Wow.
And it was like, yo, I don't get what this is about. It's like, first of all, she's in another whole another state. Like, and she's married and we're married, and you still think we banging each other out. Like, I don't like yeah.
And some people, when they're, if their situations end and, it's toxic and, messy, and they're being petty with each other, they don't understand if, there's an amicable split between a couple.
Hmm.
Like if you are, a mature adults, you should realize that, sometimes you're with somebody and you realize that, okay, this isn't my forever person, so let me not hold them up
Hmm.
or hold myself up from who I'm intended to be with by dragging out this relationship.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you bad people. It just means that you're not meant for each other,
Yeah.
at least not for, you know a lifetime.
Right. And because I'm not deeply aware of what goes on in different cultures, it seems like we have that problem a whole lot more in our culture. Whereas if you're still cool with your ex, it's a problem for this person who has problems. Like that's a red flag to them because you're still cool with your ex. Like I don't know.
I mean, for me, again, it's personally for me. I have been in situations before where someone I previously had a intimate relationship with, we were still cool, but we weren't, you know, carrying on with the intimacy.
Hmm.
Um, but then they will get into a relationship and they cut off everybody, like including family.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then through the course of that relationship, of them being hurt and going through a bad relationship, after that relationship is either on the rocks or it's finished, that's when they come back and
Somebody
want to
just said this.
condone
Somebody
things
said that on social media the other day.
like things never even happened. And I'm like, how does that
Yeah,
make sense?
No.
Like we weren't even talking. You weren't returning phone calls, text messages, emails, none of that. But now that this person who clearly has kicked your butt in the relationship and is over, now you want to come back and say, well, help heal me because this
right,
person is
Nah.
never, you
In the
know what I
block
mean?
over here, boo.
right.
I always
That
found that.
help heal me part. Like, get out of here.
Mm-mm. Get out of here.
Mm-mm.
So, how much does childhood trauma play in someone's upbringing and life experience as far as like how they actually handle relationships? Would you say?
Lots. Lots.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer that people are a product of their environment. And if you're not willing to do the work or seek the professional help to heal those childhood traumas, then you'll continue whatever cycle of dysfunction it is.
yeah. I totally agree with that because I know a lot of the things that I've experienced in my childhood has played a part in a lot of relationships that I've been in. Um, I've been to therapy a couple of times and I've learned a few things about myself. And then just paying attention to me and people I deal with, I've learned more about myself and dealing with other people. Um, I'm not going to sit here and say that all of it is gone, but I am more open to allowing people in than I was when I was younger because of the things that I've been through. And now, because of experiences with relationships as an adult, that has shifted me to a different level of past trauma from childhood because the things that I was blocking in relationships when I was child, those have taken a back burner to the things that have happened when I was an adult. But all in all, I don't let those things affect me in relationships that much because I know my limits as far as dealing with other people's red flags. And I know how to keep my red flags in my pocket when it comes to dealing with people. And I think it's key that people understand what they've been through as a youth and grow and learn how to work through and manage that so that it doesn't manifest in their future relationships.
Well said. Um, because of my childhood trauma, that's what made me go to therapy. Um, I kept going in the same circle with relationships. And it was only until I dealt with the things that happened to me as a child was I able to move past that circle or
Hmm.
break free from that circle of continuously choosing certain women
Hmm.
that did not fit my lifestyle or fit the role that I was trying to play in life. But um, yeah, I think your childhood traumas and dramas, however you want to put it, they definitely come back and play a role in your life as an adult. A
Hmm.
lot of people will say, "Well, that was in the past," and it has no bearing on my life now. And I think that's kind of like the farthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like if you don't deal with those past issues, it's kind of hard to keep moving forward without dealing with those past situations.
Right.
Yeah. For real.
So is professional help the only way to get past those issues? You think?
Um, I'm not gonna say that. Because if the person is actively seeking change,
Hmm.
you know, I think they can do, self therapy if they are, doing their research and identifying, their signs, symptoms, or whatever they have going on. But I think it would be a tough, road, but I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah, I don't think professional help is the only answer.
Right.
And it the biggest thing, it depends on how you were raised, what your environment was coming up. If you were in an environment that was not nurturing, you probably more need a professional help more than others. Um, but if you have a nurturing background to where you're able to, or you're given the space and a latitude to express and openly talk about what's going on with you and this, that, and the other, you'll be more prone to recognizing what's going on with you, how to deal with it, how to explain, how to coexist with other people. But, you know, I look at these kids today and some of them be like, oh, I don't like expressing my emotions and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's pain that you're just packing into your head and into your heart, and you're carrying that forward and you're not releasing it. Now you're moving through life and now you're starting to collect luggage, and you're out here self-medicating with relationships which go left or right, and now you're collecting more baggage, and then you get to the point where now you're destructive in relationships and you're picking up more bags, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, you might need to sit down and go get some professional help or talk to the people who are trying to talk to you.
Yeah, I don't feel that professional help is the only key to getting healed. Again, I think it's one of those things of, like Genesis was saying, if you are open and you're seeking, to heal yourself, um, I think it can happen. A lot of people believe in religious or, um, or religion, believing in a higher power to help them heal themselves through certain situations. And again, I think there are ways of helping you to help yourself if you're
Mm,
open to it. But the key is, again, you have to be open to it.
yeah, that is true.
True.
So, can past hurt and pain bring more hurt and pain, as they say?
Can past hurt and pain bring more hurt and pain?
Yeah, like how they say hurt people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
all day, all day, all day.
Absolutely.
That speaks to my last marriage. I mean, um, she was hurt, and in order to make her feel better, she tried to hurt me. Like me, um, I talk openly about my childhood traumas and all that nonsense, and she tried to throw that in my face in an attempt to hurt me, and it's like, I'm more disappointed that you tried to use that to hurt me more than I would be hurt that you tried to hurt me with that. It's like, damn, you that hurt that you gotta sling mud at me like that. It's like, that doesn't even bother me at this point in my life. So it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where these people just refuse to look in and work on whatever is going on with them.
You low down dirty dog.
Right. Oh
Hey,
man.
how dare you? You know how it felt when someone did it to you, and then you're going to inflict that same pain on someone else.
Yeah. And they see nothing wrong with it. And
Right.
that's the part that's mind blowing to me, because um if you see no problem with what you're doing while you're doing it, but in the back of your mind you saying I shouldn't be doing this, it's like, just tap out. Just tap out and go see the ref. Like, go go do something.
Sorry. So the thing is right. Some people feel like because my father whooped me at 5 years old, that's your fault. What?
No.
What the hell? Do something that happened to you when you were five have to
Yeah.
do with me now in this present age. That
Mm,
makes no sense. When
none
I
at all.
again hear women and men say, um, because of this relationship, I have something against all men, or I have something against all women. Like,
Mm,
not
Then you
all
need to
women.
stay away from men and you need to stay away from women until that thing is not an issue for you anymore.
all the
Exactly.
way away.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't add up. You can't blame a whole species of people because of your past experience. That makes no sense to me.
But people
Right.
will do it. They will do it. Yeah. They will do it all day.
So, with that being said, when is it time to let go of a bad relationship? Or it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship, but a situation where it could just be a friend, not someone you're particularly dating. But if they continue to put themselves into, bad situations or make bad decisions, when do you decide to let that friendship or that relationship go?
Mm,
I think those are two different things. If I have a friend and they're in a bad relationship,
Hmm.
if they like it, I love it because that's not my business. And you're willingly or voluntarily staying there.
mm-hmm.
If you're making bad decisions, that's a whole other story.
Mm,
Because if you're making bad decisions, whatever it is, those bad decisions could potentially affect me if we are hanging out, as friends. I
Hmm.
don't want to get caught up in your mess, you know, that I had nothing to do with because this is something that you're choosing. So,
right.
in a situation like that, then I would probably, you know, cut that friend off if they're not, trying to change their behavior or something like that. But a bad relationship, I'm just going to be a friend. I might listen to them vent, you
Hmm.
know, women will do it, girl, let me tell you what he did. And,
Right.
I listen to you once, but if you keep coming back with the same story, I'm not going. We're not both going to be crazy.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to hear it because you're still there,
Not at all. Not at all.
right?
Yeah. When it comes to a bad relationship, um, oh man. At this stage, at this advanced age, um, if your toxicity, your crazy, your baggage is too much, you probably get about 30, 45 days. Um, and I'm gonna let you know either by checking the hell out or telling you about yourself. I'd rather tell you about yourself than check out because if I check out, it's game over. Um, but yeah, I'm not again, and I have to keep deferring back to my third marriage and even my last relationship. There are just some things that are dead ringers for me to just walk away. Um, and just I have to protect my sanity at all cost. No, none of that drama. I'm not dealing with your emotional meltdowns, your mental breakdowns. Um, I'm not dealing with your insecurities. I'm not dealing with your overbearing nature. I'm not dealing with your I'm just not dealing with none of that. None of it.
I'm to the point now where I pretty much go by the three strike rule.
He said three
So,
strikes.
so if someone comes to me with the same issue, um, once you good, twice, I'm starting to think about it. But that third time, after I hear about the third time, I'm pretty much dropping you like a. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm dropping you. like
Mm.
you on my record label, son. Just no warning whatsoever. You'll hear
Oh
about it
man.
in the press. That's how you're gonna get dropped.
Mm.
Because again, I feel like if I'm trying to work with you through your situation, meaning if someone I'm dating is saying, I got a problem with your friends because I'm jealous of your friends, and you do things with your friends that you and I don't do.
Oh Lord, I hear that all the
I,
time.
I can't do it with you. I just cannot do that because if I'm spending 95% of my time with you and 5% of time or maybe even 2% of my time with my friends and you got an issue with that, then nah, it's not going to
Yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. And I was dealing with that in my last marriage and my last relationship. It's like I'm all up in your grill, but you worried about what these people doing over here and all this, that, and the other. And it's like, wait a minute. First of all, if I introduce you to my friends as my woman, I don't know what the problem is. Wherever your head goes from there, that's your problem. It's not my problem. I'm not about to deal with that at this point in my life. I put up with it before, foolishly, as I can say now, but
Right.
um, that stuff right there is just crazy because I get it. People can say, "Hey, this is my home girl," and it's that and the other, and blah blah blah, and still be smashing. I get that, but if you come into it with that, oh, that's your friend, y'all been friends this long, and y'all this and y'all that close and blah. If you come into it with that mentality, and I notice it and I'm aware of it, then yeah, I that gotta go.
Yeah. But again, for me, I can't find your previous friends, whatever the situation is or was, um, intimidating to me.
Right.
You know, I just, y'all could have been friends 10, 15 plus years long before you even met me. So why would
Hmm.
I dedicate my time being concerned or upset that you are still friends with this person? It,
Yeah.
sorry, I like straight figures, straight numbers. Give me that.
Yeah.
All that funny math is Bush thing. I ain't got time for it. I'm not gonna sit up here wasting my time being intimidated or being insecure about some former friend that you had.
Yeah. And I like what Keisha is saying. When you are super dependent on your partner, it is not healthy. And that is definitely one of those things that definitely fits into this whole conversation because you have people who their sole existence is their significant other. That's it. It's like they got friends, they got family, but they want to put an anchor on your back because they're just so dependent on you. And it's like, yo, what is going on with you? Like, do you have like separation anxiety and all this other stuff going on to where like you act like you can't breathe if I'm not by you? Like, I can't do that. Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. Have you ever been in a relationship where it was cool for the other person to hang out with her friends and do whatever it was she want to do? But the moment you say you're gonna go do something with your friends, that's when all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I had that. And the crazy part about that is, um, again, I got to go back to my third marriage. She befriended my friends, and when I went to go hang out with my friends, it was a problem. And I had to realize after the marriage was over what was going on. Like she was feeding them nonsense about me and didn't want me to be around them so they wouldn't tell me the nonsense that was going on.
Right.
And in turn, they kind of backed off from me because they felt that I was team her. And it was like, I'm oblivious to what is going on because nobody's saying anything to me.
Wow. So she did a whole sabotage type of deal then.
Yeah, it's good that after the marriage was over, everything got back to normal. Like, but some people are not that fortunate to where stuff like that happens, and they have to, you know, everything is collateral damage all over the place. Like, yeah,
So how did you come to find out? Um, I mean, what was going on during that time? Like when once it was all over and said and done, did your
yeah,
friends come to
yeah. After it was all over, and it kind of bothered me. I'm gonna actually say it hurt my feelings because it was like, you know, I get it. That was my wife, and y'all stood in y'all positions, but
you? Right.
as y'all being my friends that I call family, this, that, and the other, I would have expected someone to be like, hey, she's saying this, she's saying that. That way I could have made an informed decision because there's no way in hell that I would have chose my wife at the time over my friends had I known all that was going on. There's just no way. And I get it. I understand because it's like, that's your spouse and we don't want to get into the middle of that, this, that, and the other because we don't know what's going on, this, that, and the other. I get all that. But, for me, it's like it was just like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like everybody disappearing. Now I'm stuck with this Joker, but this Joker is all happy and all this, that, and other. But when it comes to me, it's a lot of tension. It's like I don't know what's going on.
But I think that's kind of like with certain people like that. That's part of their plan is to
Yeah,
isolate you from your
yeah,
family.
yeah. And that falls into that domestic violence realm. They want to isolate you from your circle, your you know to get you all to themselves so they can manipulate you in that way. Keisha, that what she's saying about her ex-husband had a problem with her male best friend who was one of her roommates. That's one of those situations where I know a lot of men have problems with that, but also women have problems with that because, and I'm gonna use myself as an example. When I was younger and I dealt with women who had male friends that they probably lived with or always over there, I'd be like, what the hell is going on with that? I could not reason with the fact that um males and females can just be friends. I couldn't reason with that until I got older. So a lot of men are insecure because they feed into what is whispered in their ears by their friends and this, that, and the other, and TV, this, that, and other. And they fail to understand that you can have friends of the opposite sex and nothing goes on. Like I have several where of friends of the opposite sex and nothing has ever happened. But because we're so friendly, we have that type of relationship. People are like, oh, is y'all doing something? Like, no, never. Well, why y'all? Because we're friends. Like it's not nothing. We're not doing anything crazy. But yeah, that's a problem for a lot of men. Even to this day, it's a problem for a lot of men.
Yeah, it's really is. I mean, I've been in situations where I've been in relationships where I've had friends, female friends, and we can tell each other, "Hey, love you," and that's
Right.
just what it is. And the person that I'll be with will have a problem with that. Like,
Hmm.
why you telling them you love them? Because we're friends. But anyway, yeah, that's just how some people are. Regardless, you can try to explain to them that it's not that serious. That again, it's not an intimate relationship. We just cool like that, like a brother and sister type of relationship, and they will find that intimidating for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's
so
that thing
cousin
that they've
Justin,
never been experienced. That's why.
Are you there?
Cousin Genesis.
I was on mute. I'm here.
I was asking a question. Have you had a situation where your mate found it intimidating that you have male friends and they try to isolate you from your male friends?
Absolutely. Most of my friends are male. And you know how these little stereotypes go about, women who have a lot of male friends, which isn't my reality. I just I'm not patient for, the female stuff. When a lot of women get together, they're catty. So
Hmm.
I was a tomboy growing up. So I played sports, and some of those sports were male dominated sports or all male sports. And guys, some guys in the past couldn't handle that. They would think that, oh, they're not really your friends. They're just in the friend zone. Or if you took all your clothes off, then they gonna go, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was a situation in several, or that was an issue in several situations. But for them, it is who it is, what it is for me, because I wasn't willing to cut off my friends. um it's kind of like, well, what happens if the relationship doesn't work out? Now I've cut off all my friends, and
Right.
then we don't work out, and then I'm left by myself. Nah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. And that's the same with me. Like I mostly have female friends. Like it's probably five dudes that I can consider like friends. But other than that, it's
Mhm.
mostly females, and females who are interested in me or that I end up in a relationship or whatever with, they kind of give the side eye because it's like, well, why are y'all so close and this, that, and other? And it's like, first of all, I explained to you why I don't mess with a lot of dudes, like period.
Mhm.
But I I like females. I like to be around more females more because um I learn more from females, and
Mhm.
I feel more comfortable around females. I can, it's just that thing, and it's like if you can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to cut
Yeah.
them off because now you're the number one female in my life. You have your place. They have their place. Um, and I'm not going to let you sabotage that because, like Genesis said, when things go sideways over here, um, what? I'm gonna be out here alone now. I gotta go find some new friends or try to crawl my way back into their good graces. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I
Right.
always felt like that. Like when you cut your friends off because of your new relationship, um, I don't think it's a good idea. I really don't. And
Right.
I'll back off from my friends, just trying to, in some situations, prove that you are number one. That'll be one of the
Mhm.
things they throw in your face. Well, you don't make me priority. What?
Right.
So you're
Right.
constantly trying to prove that this person is number one in your life, and they take precedence over everyone, including family,
Hmm.
and that it just never worked out because I'm not that type of person where I'm just gonna stop talking to my friends or associating with my friends, especially not my family, because you feel some kind of way.
Right.
It just
Right.
doesn't add up to me.
Yeah.
I actually did that and learned the hard way. um yeah, my best friend happens to be a male. And in my first marriage, my husband was extremely jealous. And he was jealous of the relationship between me and my best friend. And, my best friend kind of pulled back, out of respect for the relationship, because we had gotten married. I think if we were, just dating, it would have been different. But once we got married, he kind of backed away.
Hmm.
Um, and we did not talk. We ran into each other, out socially a few times, but as far as talking on the phone and hanging out, we did none of that. And then the marriage ended, and I was married for 16 years. The marriage ended, and then we picked up our friendship, and I vowed to never let that happen again.
Wow.
Wow.
And
16 years.
he understood, and it kind of, life was happening for both of us because he
Right.
got married, and he had a situation with his wife that was kind of the same thing, but
Mm,
it wasn't me. It was other female friends that she had an
right.
issue with.
Mm.
um yeah, and once both situations ended, then we resumed our friendship, and I've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I wanted to segue into another topic for a few.
Okay.
Right.
So I saw something, as Red Lipstick Vibes would say,
That's up.
but I don't have it to post on the screen, so I just post the caption. Adults need villages too, not just children. Surround yourself with good people.
Hmm.
And that was so, like, it just caught me, um because I've noticed throughout the last however many years that people, like adults, we're so focused on our kids, and other things, that a lot of us don't have a damn village that we
Hmm.
can rely on, and a lot of the people around us, just to be blunt, are just useless. Like, they're not reliable. um they're not cultivating, they're not nurturing, and it's so many things. Like, how do y'all, like, look at that, and how does that make y'all feel?
I agree. I am. Oh, wait, before I answered, Lakeisha is asking, did I have a conversation with my ex-husband about their relationship, friendship? While we were together, I tried to convince him that, we were just friends. There was no romantic interest on either of our parts.
Mm,
Um, and he just wasn't with it. And then he died shortly after we divorced, so he never knew that I had resumed the friendship with
mm,
my best friend. But yeah, I tried to explain, tried all those little things, to like make him comfortable, you
mhm.
know double dating my best friend with whatever chick he was
Right.
seeing at the time, because at that time he wasn't married. um and he still just thought it was all a charade. So
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So back to it.
So, adults needing villages. I definitely believe in surrounding yourself with good people. Uh, Not so much when I was younger, but I'm
Mhm.
more diligent about it as a seasoned adult.
Right.
Um, I believe that energy is contagious.
Mhm.
If you are the company that you keep, and no, not necessarily by the choices that we make,
Mhm.
but if I know this, or I've experienced this in women's circles.
Mhm.
If you are in a relationship and your friends are single and they may be, going through something, and you're listening to their, woe was me story. Girl, let me tell you what he did. He did that.
Yeah.
If you listen to that long enough, then you'll start looking at your relationship, and then you'll find something similar. Girl, me too. I
Yeah.
thought it was just you. And then, now I see this. And before you know it, your happy home is all chaotic because somebody else was going through
Mhm.
in their situation. So I kind of stay away from energy like that. And then, people that are complainers.
Mm-hmm.
is if you're complaining and you're trying to find everything wrong with life, then get away from me because
Right.
I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to, find the light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't want you dragging me down, to whatever low place you're in. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I definitely believe in surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah, I totally agree with again surrounding yourself with people who have a positive influence and carry positive energy. Um, I think as I've gotten older, those people who carry that negative energy or negative influence as far as their point of views, I've ghosted them or gotten rid of them or however you want to put that, because I think once you get to a certain age, man, that energy, it can no longer exist in your space if you're trying to
Mm.
continue to progress in life. Um, One good thing I will say about my family is they don't hold punches.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, because if they see something wrong in my life, some of them will choose, their words um, sparingly, and then some of them, will just give it to me raw. So um, I can appreciate that about my family, and again, my friends, we're at the age now where we don't play games with each other anymore. Like, this is what it is. This is how I feel about it. This is just what it is. So,
Mhm.
not trying to hurt your feelings, but this is the way I see it. So, again, it just to help some people to stay focused. I'm not saying all people, but this some people. I think when you surround yourself with good people, it definitely plays a positive role in your life.
The one thing that
Absolutely.
I've noticed um, is it's hard to find good people. It's hard as an adult. It's a little harder to have a village. Um, like if I needed a shoulder to cry on, like physically, I would be hard pressed to find one close by me. Like the shoulders I would cry on would like really would lean on like that or like in different goddamn states. And I find that troublesome because when I look around immediately, it's like I don't even I can't even recognize what a village is in some of the people that are close to me. And it's just mind blowing that people don't share that same sentiment. Like I posted this on Facebook and on Instagram, and I see it. I've had a lot of people check into it, and everyone is aware of it, but people are not so quick to act in that space. Um, and it's very disheartening because it's like, yo, we all still it just because we were kids and we needed the village. Now we're adults and we can't even pull each other close and we like right around each other, like within 30, 45 minutes, an hour of each other. We can't pull each other close. I'm one, I will get up in the middle of the night if someone like was reaching out, needed me or whatever the case may be. Um, hell, if it's in a different state, I would do it. But I know people who have literally said, "Oh, you live too far," and it's like I've reached out and not because I was in like dire need, but it's like I
Right.
reached out because it's like, I'm feeling some type of way. I need a village. And oh, you live so far and it's blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yo, are you serious? Like, I, I don't get it. But people, I don't know.
Yeah, I totally feel you on that.
I guess it depends on the relationship. Like I happen to be an empath.
Mhm.
Um and I didn't always make myself a priority. So I was the friend that everybody could call in the middle of the night, or if they need you to come and get them, they could call. And I never got the same thing in return.
Right.
Not that I did it. So I've refined my inner circle a little bit, and now there's a balance,
Mhm.
the people who I have in my inner circle that can call on me at any time of the day or night, I have that same relationship, or I have that same comfort in knowing that I could do the same with
Right.
them,
Mhm.
you know? And it's like you said, finding good people or people who you can have that reciprocal relationship with, I think is far and few between,
Yeah.
because many people are selfish.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I had a situation where an associate of mine, I put it to you like that, um, would always be good to, her friends. And there was one friend in particular where, anytime my friend called, she was right there, whatever you need. But then there was one time she needed that friend for something simple as a ride.
Mm.
And that friend told her, I'm shopping right now. I can't make that.
Wow.
For shopping?
Shopping. Like
Wow.
I'm shopping right now. I can't come in.
Wow is right.
That would be the end of our friendship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dead in the
You
water.
shopping? You could go to the service desk and tell them to put your cart on hold and come back
Right.
when we done. Wow, that's low.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I talked to this person. I was like, man, that's really not a friend. In my opinion,
Mm-mm.
that's really not a friend. But they still friends to this day. I'm like, I gotta
Wow.
cut that
Yeah.
off. Like,
That would be dead in the water. Yeah.
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 Like
Yeah.
everything from giving his friend a ride to loaning his friend money to feeding them to all that. And the one time you called them, oh, I can't make it on shopping right now. What? Oh, I would have. I ain't gonna say what I would did, but
Yeah. But yeah, but it's real hard to find like a village like that. Like, let me tell you. Like, I know most of the people I hang with live close to DC since I work in DC. And DC is like an hour and a half drive for me. In miles, it's like 63, 64 miles. Now, I can get up out my house on whatever day and go hang out down that way, whatever, and bring my ass home. Um, but let me invite people to hang out my way is too far. And I've literally had people drive past me going to other places and either keep going or only stop because they're going past me. And it's like, I can come to your house at any time that you invite me, but you can't come out here once or twice. Like, and so when it comes to that aspect, when it comes to a village, it's like I'm looking at these people say, "Oh, whatever you need, whatever you need, whatever you need," and it's like, yeah, whatever I need if I'm coming that way. But like, I don't know.
I used to say, I live in the sticks, and I still have friends. Y'all know I'm from Chicago. I say Chicago. I
Right.
don't live in Chicago proper, but you know, I'm the car drive away. Like you said, you can get there in an hour, less than an hour. And people will say, "Oh, you live so far."
Mm,
It's the same distance from my house to yours that it is from yours to mine. If I can
wow.
come your way,
Hmm.
you can come my way. And if you're not, then guess what? I'm say it's too far when you want me to come to something too. I'm gonna be petty like that.
That's funny. But what's up, red lipstick vibes? That's
Hey,
funny.
realistic vibes.
That's funny because I've said that to people in my pettiness and be like, but you work in DC, you're gonna be down here anyway. And it's like, really? It's like, yo. I'll be like, nah, but it's too far, it's out the way. Um, yeah, it's just crazy.
Wow.
Lakeisha says, You realize it when you fall ill, etc. When she couldn't drive during her concussion therapy and was off work for 3 months, two people showed up to do grocery shopping and take her to appointments. That is
Those would be my
horrible.
two friends.
Yeah.
That I would have two friends.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what the sad part about that is, I sit in my house sometimes and I say, what the hell if something happened to me? I don't know who the hell I would call. Like literally. Like I don't know who I would call to depend on if I needed something.
Wow.
Um I know at the beginning of last month, like my back was hurting real bad and I was in like furious pain. Um had one person that I went to high school with, haven't seen her in ages, but she hit me up and said, um, I'm right down the street if you need anything. And that just, I was like, oh wow, damn, that's what's up. Um, Nobody else hit me up and said anything like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
She said, call a crackhead or fight for you.
Right.
Oh man, that's
Yeah, I
funny.
find it to be upsetting when, people will pass right by your house, although you've invited them, and then they'll hit you up like a day or so later and say, "Hey, I went right past your house. I just thought I'd let you know." The hell?
Mm-mm.
Why? Why would you even tell me you rode through my part of town or through my city and you didn't stop? Like, dude, you could have
Right.
stopped 5 minutes.
And you had time.
Yeah, like regardless of, or not,
The
me being home, you could at least call. Don't call me the day
ones
after to tell me you passed through my city. That just
and that's the thing that gets me. Like, the people who have a problem going to see you, but then they have no problem going further than where
Right.
you live to go somewhere else. It's like, oh, okay, well, you can go there. Well, then I know where I am on your list of priorities. So I'm gonna act my part.
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how we get back to, well, shit. Was there, well, I don't even know if during my lifetime there was a such thing as an adult village. Um, I can't recall. Uh, you know what? Let me scratch that. Well, not scratch that, but I do, because we're military brats. There are a lot of people that um we form a bond with, and like I was saying, a lot of these people live in different goddamn states, and you know it's too far to drive. That I understand, too far to drive, but if you like within an hour of me, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Wow. Lakeisha said there was growing up for her.
That's what's up. I mean, I don't know, but is that a regional thing, a cultural thing? Like, how does that even? I don't know.
I don't know. What I don't understand, I mean, if we're talking culturally,
Mhm.
our ancestors, when, they had villages
Right.
where,
Yeah.
the village operated as a unit.
Hmm.
I don't know how we got away from that. It seems like the more time passes, the farther away we get. Like, I think our culture started with the village concept.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, it was a community. And, all the parents were friends, the kids were friends, they grew up and kind of carried the torch with their children,
Hmm.
being friends. And then you get to present day and people live in places where they don't even know their neighbors.
Mm. Yeah. I think that, so for you, you were mostly around your family, right?
You said, what's your question?
Mostly around your family,
What do
your
you mean?
relatives, like where you are geographically. Your family was like close by.
Um, my family is we're a little bit spread out. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, people are dying off and divorcing and stuff like that. But
But growing up when you
there
were
was a
little.
actually when I was little, no, they
Okay.
all lived. It was crazy. My mother's side of the family is extremely close,
Hmm.
and everybody lived near each other
Hmm.
except us. Um, my parents were the first to kind of move away, and then everybody else, once they moved, they migrated to the same area, so we had to
Mm.
travel to see them. And then once the kids grew up, then we kind of lived in the same area,
Mm.
like within 10 or 15 minutes of each other, and then we've kind of just migrated, so we're all over the place now.
Okay. Because
But
I was
wherever
gonna.
we were, we saw each other regularly.
Okay. Right. Right. I was gonna say for like me and probably Son So Lex because we're military brats. Like once our parents was shipped somewhere every 2, 3, 4 years, it was
Hmm.
like a wrap for that family thing. And like for me, I was in Germany from seventh grade till I graduated high school. So that's pretty much those summers of if we could fly back to the States to be with family for a couple of weeks or whatever, and then
Hmm.
go back to Germany. And it's like, yeah, we wrote letters, phone long distance phone calls every now and then, but that family dynamic kind of disintegrated for me being over there and then coming back here and trying to you know rebond. It was kind of difficult because it was like I'm a foreigner now, um
Hmm.
and then trying to get to know family that I did not know because my mother sent me to Miami. That was a struggle because it's like I don't know y'all know of me, y'all knew me when I was little, but y'all don't know me now. And you know that dynamic goes on. So when it comes to family being a village for me, that that is something that I can sit here and honestly say in my heart is not going to happen. Not like
Hmm.
that. But fortunately I'll be going down to Miami to visit that family on the 20th. Because them down there, they get together all the time.
Right.
And
Hmm.
they extended the invitation to me, so I'm going to go down there and do that. But outside of that, it's like I don't my family bonding thing is just weird.
Yeah, I remember when I was growing up, when we lived stateside, if we were close enough, meaning within a few hours, to go see my grandparents on both sides of the family, we would go. Like it was every weekend or every other weekend, we were gone, to visit with them. Once we got to a place where we were over 10 hours, that's when things kind of slowed down as far as like the
Hmm.
traveling. And again, when we lived abroad, people would come and visit every now and then. But growing up, watching my parents, they always spent their time and their money, to go see family. But it wasn't so much family coming to see us.
Hmm.
And then my mom and my dad, they got to a point where they're like, you know what? How much sense does this make for us to keep going to visit everyone else and no one else is coming to see us? Like we're the same amount of distance from each other, 2 hours there or 2 hours back, So once they got, to that point, um, I kind of felt like they were justified in doing it.
Hmm.
Like there's no reason for you to keep visiting, even though we're family and we're tight. Again, we're not the only ones that can spend gas money or
Hmm.
pay
Time
for
on the road.
travel. Yeah, like it just I found it kind of weird to say the least.
Yeah.
But me as an adult, we have a family get together, or at least try to have a family get together at least once a year.
Hmm.
And over time, that family get together is starting to get smaller and smaller due
Yeah.
to the elders passing on, and then just other cousins either working or just not being able to make it, and then some just the hell with y'all, I'm not gonna make it.
Mm.
So, but yeah, that whole family village, even as an adult, I think it still plays a role um, to kind of keep us, some of us grounded as adults.
Hmm.
But it's always good to see family, I feel.
Yeah. It's always good to see family, but
Mhm.
in these
Y'all can
passing years that what you say?
I said, y'all can have mine. I'll be
Uh,
hiding out from those jokers.
really?
Yes.
Look here, I just be finding other stuff to do because the family gatherings are not like they used to be. Um,
Oh
yeah,
wow,
they
all right, jeez,
yeah, yeah,
that's a ride.
it is a ride. But family gatherings to me, they're not like they used to be. It's like when elders pass on and that person who was the glue is gone. It's like
Yeah,
everything is like water, it just flows in every direction. It's like I can't keep doing this. This is not it's not fulfilling. It's not rewarding. It's not I don't know. It just doesn't like breathe life into me. And it's like it seems pointless. And that whole village thing is just like, man, you sit back and you be like, damn, if something goes on with me, can I really reach out to y'all? Like, I don't know.
right. So once again, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the King and I Life podcast. We want to
Yes,
thank
yes.
our cousin
Yes,
Genesis for
yes.
coming through. Um, of course, if
Always,
if
always a
you need
pleasure.
us, we here. We would love to come on your platform and do our thing.
Hey, look, you got it. I was with Genesis the other day on her midday live, and her
Yeah,
midday lives is around dark time. So yeah,
five
so
thirty.
yeah, so like
5:30.
you be at work on her midday live. So
Yeah,
yeah, you have to take a day off one day and hop on her midday live one day.
for sure.
And we gonna schedule one when he's not working.
Yeah, just let me know, man. I'm down for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because we be cutting up over there.
Listen, we gonna clean it up over there. We gonna
Oh
clean up a little
man.
bit, tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the grown, like it's so laid. Like they say that my channel is laid back, but it is really laid back over here.
Mm,
And I just, it's not a panel, but it's more than a one-on-one over here. And I
yeah.
love the way, we just have a regular conversation,
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
you know.
Hmm.
It's a
Yeah.
dope vibe, dope vibe.
Yep, yep, yep. But shout out to everybody that came through Red Lipstick Vibe. Shout out to you. I'm gonna find one of these Fridays. But these Fridays, boy, they be kicking my butt. and or yeah, they be kicking my butt or I'll be outside. Um
It's
definitely
about to
gotta
be
get
cold. We're gonna be in the house
yeah, I'm gonna definitely get back over there
soon.
because they be cutting up over there too.
Right.
Um
Lakeisha says she in the Midwest with me. Like, we about to be freezing soon. We're gonna be on
mm,
YouTube all day.
yeah, yeah, we're gonna do it. But yeah.
And
Like Son So Lex said, thanks for joining us, King and I Life
Yes.
podcast. Find us on all social media platforms, www.kingandeyelife.com. Um, damn, I'm gonna get to editing some more stuff because we kind of the tank is empty.
okay,
But until you do, hey, share out y'all share out the content that's already here, that's already
Yeah,
posted.
yeah, true
And tell
that.
a friend to tune
Yes,
in, to subscribe, like,
yes,
all that good stuff.
yeah, yeah, yes, indeed, yes, indeed.
so
We'll catch y'all on the next one.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Deuces.
Deuces.